Yeah, buddy. Welcome back to 96.1 Styling FM radio. We've been styling since the 90s, and you fucking know this, man. Don't deny it because you know it. But on the other hand, I got a good one for you, Lisa.
Okay.
So I just got off the phone with our boy Will from Many Persuasions. And this is kind of a funny story. He's going to hate me telling the story on the radio, but it's kind of funny. So, he's got a C10 truck and this and this, and he's got this trailer hitch on it, and he wants it removed. So I removed the fucking trailer hitch, but there was one wire that was a ground wire, but it didn't go to anything because on this truck, it was like an extension plug-in to make the cord longer, right?
Right.
So I backed the screw out and it froze and I couldn't get it off, and I said, give me your knife, and I just cut it while the damn trailer hitch was laying on my chest and I'm laying on my back on the ground, right? So
no.
Yeah, so several days later his blinkers aren't working and he's pissed off about this, right? And he calls me up, and he's not being an asshole to me, but he's like, you still got that trailer hitch? And I said, yeah. And he goes, well, I'm going to come over and I'm going to plug it in. And I'm like, dude, it's just an extension, And he goes, well, I did this, and they put a new column. They actually went and put a new column in the truck, okay? That's how fucked up this is, right? Spent all this money he didn't have to. And then I told him, take it over to Old Schools, man. Take it over to Late Night Auto, Old School will fix it, because if your blinkers aren't working, but all this other shit's working, but your blinkers aren't working, then pull the taillight, test the wires, and there's a reason why it's not getting no signal. So he's like, okay. Then he hits me up and goes, hey, those bolts to the trailer hitch, I forgot to get those. And I'm like, well, we know it ain't the trailer hitch. He goes, well, I'm going to put it back on and see if that's the problem. I'm like, dude, that's not the problem, dude. That's not the problem. So he did take it over to Old Schools, and he just fucking called me right when we were on the break. And here's the funny thing. I had the same problem with Orangey. And, here, people, when we got the Nissan, right? I drove it home in the dark from Chicago, okay? I didn't know shit about this truck, and it has the front windows tinted, right?
Mm.
So on any other mini truck, the hazards are on the column. On this truck, it's on the dash, right? Well, we've taken that dash apart I don't know how many times, and one time we never plugged the switch back in, and we didn't know what it did. And then I didn't have turn signals for a while, right? Until we went to put the new head unit in, and we figured out, oh, we plugged this in, you have turn signals, right? I totally forgot about it. Will pulled the fuse and didn't push the fuse all the way back in, and that's the reason why he didn't have turn signals. He's like, dude, I feel so dumb,
Nah,
and I'm like,
all get like that.
I'm like, no, before you say another word, do you remember with Orangey when we pulled the dash apart 50 fucking times and was doing the wiring and, doing different stuff? You remember that one switch and we didn't know what it did next to my neon switch? And he goes, yeah. And I go, I had the same issue. And he's like, no shit. It's like, I don't know what it went to, so I never plugged it back in. Then I couldn't figure out why I didn't have no turn signals. And when you're driving a truck with no windows in the sides of it, you kind of need turn signals. Let them know you're coming across.
You're going to have windows on the side? Why you got windows on the side?
Well,
you mean you're missing your mirrors?
No, I've got mirrors, but on Orangey, it's got a snug top on it, and there's no windows in it. So it's like driving a blind van.
I bet.
Oh, you should see me when I'm driving it and I've got to turn in the next lane. And if you turn around, you just see a wall of speakers, So I'm like looking in the mirror, like back and forth, kind of lifting up in the seat. And I'm like, well, I'm hitting a blinker. I'm going for it.
I'm going for it.
Yeah, it's got such a blind spot in it, When I go to turn, I actually speed up as I turn to make sure there's nobody in that blind spot.
You almost have to. I mean,
Orangey's really interesting in driving it. It really is. So
why
yeah.
is that?
Well, because there ain't no windows in there. You can't see back. I almost got rear-ended backing out of Quick Trip one day.
Mm.
And this,
I mean, that wouldn't be the first time.
this fucking Karen bitch went nuts on me. And if it wasn't for Stephanie screaming at the top of her lungs, stop, I would have backed. She was pulling in. She was actually speeding through the parking lot is what she was doing. I didn't see anybody pull in, and I started to back out, and she slammed on her brakes. And I slammed on mine because Stephanie was screaming because she was parked next to me. And so a bunch of club members got out of their cars and was like, what the fuck? And then she pulled in a parking spot. She started mouthing off to me. And the husband got out, and I'm like, here we go. We're going to get in a fight with these white trash people. He's like, man, that's a cool truck. Never mind her. She's just a fucking Karen. And I was like, maybe you need to give her some dick. I was just like, I shouldn't have said that to him, but it's probably true. My sexuality has nothing to do with this, and you almost backed into me. Well, fuck, man, you need to give me the right of way. I'm backing up, and you're coming in a parking lot. I really don't know what the law is on that. I mean,
no, it's private property, so I don't know what the law would be.
Well, when you come into the mall or whatever, they give you the right of way coming in. So
that's because they're courteous. Not everybody's courteous.
No, people got to fucking stick up their ass, and if you drive something nicer than they got to fucking be all bent out of shape and.
Yeah. I just want to drive. I'm at that point that I'm like, as long as I get in my car and it starts, I'm happy.
Yeah.
And winter's coming, so it's going to be worse. Yeah. What are you doing over there?
No, I'm just listening to you. Just listening to you. But yeah, winter's coming up, and Orangey's put up for the winter. Well, Orangey's broke, so I mean, there's a lot of shit we've got to fix on the truck before next year, but mainly the alternator bracket issue. So
yeah, that's a big issue.
Yeah, I'm getting a bigger alternator now for the stereo system. I mean, the one that's in it's pretty good, but we think it's broke. So I don't fucking know if it is or not. I know the belt's squeaking really bad, so, and it's not, the tensioner come off, and it's obviously on 270 somewhere, where it fell off my truck. So yeah, and there's a lot of stuff. We got to finish the interior. It's going to Idaho, back to the original painter, and he's going to do some paint work on it for me. And I don't know. I'm kind of working on some other projects right now that I'm going to surprise everybody with.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
You sound so positive.
Yeah, I finally figured out the color I'm going to do my my 8th Gen Civic in.
You're going to do it in slut red.
Do what now?
You're going to do it in slut red.
Slut red. Well, it could be a form of red that I'm doing it in, but yeah, slut red. Yeah, is that your Civic? That slut red one over there? Yeah, that'd be me. On the blue wheels. Slut red. Well, what's funny about slut red? I drove a slut pink truck for years,
No. Pink can't be a slut. It's got to be red.
Yeah. I never will forget. I built that truck for my ex-wife, and the only reason why she didn't drive it much is because we needed to build new brackets to make the seat higher so she can see over the steering wheel. The only way she could drive it, unless she put 2 phone books in it, and put a pillow on top of it. Then she could see over the steering wheel. And she loved driving the truck. It's just I need to build the seat bracket up higher, right? Because I had a bench seat in it. It was all custom upholstered. So I started driving the damn thing. Well, what's funny is there's a bunch of college kids, these girls that were in a convertible, and these girls were being obnoxious and was like, "Hey, I want to drive your truck," and we just kind of waved, and she was like, "I'll let you fuck me if I get if you give it to me," or something like that. And boy, Crystal, my ex-wife, come unglued. She come up out of the truck wanting to fight this chick and all kind of stuff. And that's one thing about Crystal. She's down to fight a motherfucker. She might only be 4'11", and she was a bikini model, but she would straight want to throw down with somebody. I watched her fight 3 fat girls. This guy cut us off and almost hit her car. We were on the way back to Blockbuster to return a movie before midnight, right? And these white trash.
Day when that was important.
Yeah, that was very important. If not, you get charged that late fee. And these white trash Hoosiers cut us off and almost hit the front of her Camaro. And we followed them to where they were. And we rolled up and we're like, "You got a fucking problem?" Well, the dude kicked her car. And I got out and started kicking. I got out and started beating the shit. Me and this guy's just going at it. And next thing I know is she's out of the car arguing with these girls. And the girl called her Four Eyes. And she goes, "You're calling me Four Eyes? Who the fuck are you? You're wearing glasses too." And she slapped him right off her face. And so me and this guy is fighting. She's fighting these 3 fat girls. And the one girl, she got hit on the ground. And I remember me and this guy hitting each other. And he's like, "Stop, stop, stop." And he's like, "Look." And she's kicking the shit out of these 3 fat girls. And the one fat girl ran in the house to even her bigger mom called 911. And he's like, "We got to go. We got to go." And I don't even know who this guy is. I mean, me and him just punching the shit of each other. And she's over there. And I had to just pick her up like a dog, you know. And she's still punching in the air and throw her in the car. And we left. And we got pulled over by the police. And there was a car matching our description. And I was like, and luckily we had made it back to Blockbuster. And it was like 10 minutes before they, you had to turn it in. And she's like, "Look, we're just trying to return a damn movie. I don't know." They're like, "Oh, well, then you guys have a nice night." I was like, "We're getting the hell out of the town." What was funny is on the radio, the one girl needed an ambulance because she has great bodily harm done to her. And I'm like, after it was all done, I was like, I wonder which one had the great bodily harm. Probably the one I kicked in her mouth, and I think I saw her teeth fly out. I was like, damn, girl, shit. Yeah, good old war stories from back in the day. But yeah, that girl, man, she was so damn cool. But if you want to fight, man, she was down to fight. She had no problems fighting somebody. Guy, girl, a squirrel on the side of the road. She got into an argument with a squirrel that kept running out in front of her every morning. And she pulled up and she got out and she thought she could reason with it. I never seen anything so crazy in my life. But on that note, you guys are listening to 96.1 Styling as we're dragging right through the night. We'll be right back after this.